wise, I guess the way that I got into that is in, I don't know, say middle school. It was probably early high school. I went to a house party and there was a DJ playing on turntables, and he's playing house music. And I'd always been into hip hop more, but just seeing it live, like I'd seen DJs on videos, rap videos, what have you, doing their thing, mixing, cutting or whatever, but I'd never seen, I was young, probably 15 or 16, so I'd never seen anybody in real life hands-on with records or whatever. So seeing it live, it was just like, it blew me away. I just was glued to that the whole time, like his little setup, whatever it was, cinder blocks with an old door, you know, the standard setup, or some milk crates or whatever, and he had the Technics 1200s and the whole thing. And I just stood there the whole night and was mesmerized. Like I just watched him.
Product placement. I want to get sponsorship.
At the end of the night, you know, I have my little questions that are running through my head to ask him about DJing and everything. And I mean, it was just me nerding out. Like I think I was helping him load his stuff in, because I just wanted to, you know, like I wanted to have that feel, you know, like, man, records and the 1200s, you know what I mean, like just be a part of it or whatever. So that's how I got into it. And then after that, I just, man, I mean, I don't know, I think I had just a random job at like a drug emporium or something. So I saved up money, and I used to call skating rinks and bowling alleys and ask them if they had turntables, because I knew at that point in time, I mean, people were already starting to like use CDs or just not even have live DJs at something like that. So I would call and they were like, yeah, I think we have some old turntables in the back. Every time I'd be like, yes, this is it. And then I'd ask him, you know, I'd wait for that question, and he's like, what's the model number? And then they come back and like, it's Techniques. I'm like, oh, I went down, yes, come on. And then like, it's like that roll of the dice, and like it's a SP, and then it would just be some random ass number, like not a 1200. I'm like, all right, well, thanks, you know, whatever. So I would just call all these random places in the phone book, trying to, you know, because my whole thought process was like, if somebody's just sitting on it and they don't really know what it is, or it's just some old, like somebody's aunt who runs the bowling alley, and they're like, oh, darling, come down here, sell those to you for $50 or whatever, you know. So I was just trying to get a deal, or trying to come up with something I could really afford.
But see, the thing about your stuff is like, it's so detailed, you know?
So what had happened, I used to hang out at this club in Fort Worth called The Crossing, and it changed hands, and the dude who bought it had turntables already, and he bought the club. So I bought like some 1200s. They were super busted. I mean, the lights didn't work. One of the little pop-up lights looked like it got stuck, and somebody tried to like pull it up with some pliers. The metal was all messed up, but they worked. I mean, I used those same turntables for like, probably like 5 years of DJing. It was those and a big Space Station Pyramid mixer. It had like a built-in sampler, and it was garbage, but I got those, started buying records, and I bought some dance records in the beginning just to mix or whatever, and that's what I learned on. But I was always listening to hip hop, so it didn't really make sense for me to DJ something that I didn't just drive around listening to on a daily basis. So this is the newest shirt that I printed for a decade. This is a version that says Top Notch on the hat, and there's also a decade one, but I released these just to sell at one of the parties a while back, just to have something on the Top Notch brand. I've been passionate about music that since the first time I heard. Like, I've always liked music, but in elementary school, the second I heard a hip hop tape, I think it was '86, whenever Beastie Boys' License to Ill dropped, I was at my friend's house, jumping on the trampoline. He was playing on the boombox, and I was blown away instantly. I was just like, man, what is this? He dubbed me a copy, and then it was like game over.